This is Fred, your agronomist, and today I'm live from the farm to showcase or to show you a magic that has been taking place in this farm. As you can see, the area is very dry. The area looks very dry, but at the same time, we have a very beautiful piece of land here. Beautiful piece of land that we have been doing cabbages, and it has successfully grown. So due to some requests from you, when I was posting these pictures of this farm on my social medias, or my other social medias, one of my social medias, if you are not a follower, at Farm with Fred on Facebook, at Farm with Fred on Twitter, at Farm with Fred on TikTok. So people requested me, or farmers requested me to take them through a class of how I've been able to achieve all this, because as you can see, the background is not very good. It's very dry at the background, but we have a farm that is very beautiful, a farm that is very good, a farm that is successful. So one of the thing you need to consider, other than having a land, other than having capital, other than having a market, remember, before we start farming, we go to the market, see how the market trade is, come and farm. So other than those things, there are some things you need to consider, or there are some things you need to look at for you. When you go into farming, you won't have much struggle. One thing is water. The first thing you look at after getting the market, after having to grow, is water. And that is the first thing I did in this farm, in this section of farm. As you can see, there is a water point on that path. There is few water point on those paths. So water is available. Don't mind the background, how the background looks like, but I have plenty of water in this farm, and that is what has made this cabbage as successful as it is now. So from getting reliable water, I can show you at the far head there, at this far, you can see that a lever. The camera is unable to zoom very well. That a lever that is on this edge, on this corner, that a lever that shows you that the water is available. So then went to the market, go the market, and I decided to grow cabbage on this section. So how did it start? First thing first, I started with the variety. In the market, they are in need of different market, looking for different varieties. Like in my case, the one that was requested was this Grolier F1. This is what has been grown in this farm, the whole of this farm. We have over 40,000 cabbage heads here, and they are as big as this one. They are making from 3 kgs to 6 kgs, majority of the cabbages, though we still have the small cabbages. You cannot miss that as a farmer. So I selected the best cabbages was requested by the market, and this variety, the reason to why they wanted the variety, they were so specific with the Groli of F1, according to the explanation, was because of the shelf life. They say that this Groli F1 has a high shelf life in the market. When from the farm to the market, it takes quite a long period of time before it's sold, because sometimes the markets are so unpredictable, like as we are in Kenya, as per this time, the market are very slow. So if as a marketer, or as somebody who is in the market, you need something, even if that product will stay for long without being sold. It won't spoil. So among the cabbages that meets the trait from the marketing was Growly F1. So that was among one of the advantage, the shelf life. Another thing is the head formation. They usually prefer this cabbage because of the head it gives big head, as you can see. They look like they are squeezed together, but the spacing is okay. I'll share about the spacing later. The big head, they like the big head cabbage, measuring in between 3 kgs to 6 kgs. They say that is the best kg that the consumers are looking for. So Growly F1 is the one that met all these criteria. Also, one thing I like about Growly F1 is it is also tolerant to fungal diseases. If rain exceeds or if you are doing over irrigation, the variety will give you the high tolerance levels. Though there are other varieties you can check with other varieties, the other varieties that does very well, check with them. If they have the same trait as which the market is demanding from you, you grow them. If the market is looking for flatted, look for a variety that has a flatted. If the market is looking for a dome shifted, go for that market. So the first step is going to the market, then setting up the farm like I told you, making sure you have irrigation, and now starting. So from the market specification, I did my propagation. I did the propagation of the seedling. I never list the seedling for myself. I looked for the best propagator, and the seedlings, these seedlings you're seeing here, I did with Mkulima Mdogo seedling. For those who may like to contact him, you can check on the internet. Is very available at Mkulima Mdogo, and get the best of the seedling, because this what I got from him. He has the best. So after getting the seedling, before I got the seedling, I prepared the land. Remember, I told you I have the system, the irrigation system, a good irrigation system that is running at the farm, and I'm using drip irrigation. That's why you cannot see any weed growing at the path or on this path, because the drips are just parallel with the cabbages, so it's irrigating where necessary. So I did the manualing, I did the manual application. After doing the manual application, uh, that when I planted the cabbages. During the first planting, or when I was doing the planting, I started, like I've been advising you, I started with a phosphorus based fertilizer. Phosphorus based fertilizer, you can do an NPK that is rich in phosphorus, like you have that is rich in phosphorus. Phosphorus is the P. So make sure the product that you're starting with is rich in phosphorus. But in my case, I did Yara Miller Power. That is what I planted with. If you cannot, you won't get the Yara Miller Power, you can also start with the DAP. Make sure the the product that you're doing is rich in phosphorus. So I planted with phosphorus rich fertilizer. From phosphorus rich fertilizer, I did my first drenching. My first drenching was to protect the young seedling from any cutting insect and from fungal diseases, because when I was doing this, the weather was not very good. It was cold, so I did my first drenching with Confido and Ridomil. Those were the first product that I did my first drenching in, and irrigation continued as usual. And because, like I told you, one of the aspects to consider, one of the things, the biggest thing to consider was the type of irrigation. Make sure that you have plenty of water, because they need water. As you can see, the area is very dry. So without water, you cannot make it, or you cannot achieve anything in this area. So I did, I continued with good irrigation and good maintenance of the crop. Weeding was among the activities that I was doing. As you can, the farm is still very clean. It's still very clean. I did a lot of weeding to make sure I control the pest, because these weeds, if you let the weeds to be intercrop with the crop or to be among the crops, you may end up uh, being attacked by so many pests, because weed usually encourages pest attack. So that is what I was avoiding. I did the weeding, and the crop is as good as that. Irrigation is as per the demand. Like I've always been telling you, there is no measure of irrigation. Make sure your crop is well watered. Make sure your crop is well irrigated, so that you can get a good crop cover. Remember, every crop needs to grow vegetatively for it to form its final product. Like for the cabbages, the head, for it to form, it has to have a good vegetative cover. If it is for fruit vegetables, they have to have a good vegetative cover. So I did, the irrigation was okay. From irrigation, I did my second fertilizer, which was, now remember, the first fertilizer was a phosphorus-based fertilizer. My second fertilizer, which I did, was nitrogenous rich fertilizer. And for nitrogenous rich fertilizer, because I also wanted to have an NPK, a phosphorus present, I decided to do an NPK 2323. That's what I did. I did the second fertilizer. And as I was doing the second fertilizer, remember, I was also controlling the cutting insect. I was also controlling the fungal diseases, because it's also attacked by fungal diseases. I was also controlling the fungal disease, the cutting insect, and also the aphids. Among the biggest disaster on this on cabbage farming is the aphids, which attacks the head of the cabbage, where the cabbage is folding its head. That's where the aphids attacks. So as you can see, the heads are very clean. The heads are very clean and well. From there, from aphid, I also controlled the so-called DBM, which is diamond black moth, which is also a disaster when it comes to cabbage farming. And controlling these pests in cabbage is very easy. What you need to do is to make sure you spray. You spray on time, and you spray with product that the protective and control product. So those are the product I use. I was using lighter chemicals in when it comes to cabbages. You use the lighter chemicals rich in lambda-cyhalothrin. We need a product that has fewer phi, 3 to 5, not more than 5 days when it comes to cabbage farming. This is because cabbage, with those products, it is able to respond positively, not as compared to other crops like tomatoes and onions. So don't be shocked, or don't run for expensive product and a strong product when it comes to cabbage. What you need to do is to make sure you do a timely spray, and also you do it collectively, so that you can be able to achieve as good crop cover as this one. So I end a weekly spray controlling aphids, DBM, diamond black moth, and also when cold persisted, because we are in a sorry for the network errors. So from controlling the pest and the diseases, and the second fertilizer, irrigation has to continue as always, and that is our main topic, irrigation, how to irrigate and to make sure you irrigate well. And then my last bit, when the cabbage was around 40 to 50 days, that when I did now my last fertilizer, and it was a calcium based fertilizer. And for this case I did Yara liver nitrable. That was the last fertilizer, and from that point I've been doing the irrigation, and as you can see now, it's almost 90 days after transplanting or after the crop was planted, and I can for sure tell you that these are a good business if you do your good timing. These are good business, and it can give you good returns if you do your good timing. Remember, the first step is the marketing. That way now the timing comes in. You must know when to do the cabbages and when not to do the cabbages, because there is a lot of challenges if you do the irrigation cabbages, and they are you may not get good prices with your irrigated cabbages when you meet in the market with the rain-fed cabbage farmers. So you have to be very timely, and the best thing to do for good, if you want to get into good business with cabbages, you can time when it's not raining. Like as you can see, the area looks very dry, so that means there are no rain-fed cabbages in the entire country. So make this the best time to grow and fetch a good returns from whatever you're farming. So if you have any question concerning the cabbage farming, I'm coming back with now a good episode from planting to up to this point. This was just a review, so that I can show you all the processes, how to plant them, how to take care of them, which specific product to use at what time, so that you can be a good cabbage farmer. If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe. Also leave a comment. You can also follow me on my other social medias at Farm with Fred, so that we can continue farming together. Bye.